From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Reality is we've got thousands in shelters. The need is immense.
Natural disasters happening across the country. Wildfires in the west, hurricanes and tropical storms in the Gulf. And tonight, the urgent call for help you need to hear.
The Big Ten is ready to have a football season, and it could end right here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Find out how it all came together and what it means for teams in the weeks ahead.
And we have a mild evening on tap, but much cooler air filters in for our overnight lows in the next few days. I'll have those details coming up.
Good Wednesday evening and welcome into the news at 6 on WRTV. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
And I'm Mark Mullins.
First at 6, wildfires devastating areas of the West Coast in California, Oregon, and Washington State. Along the Gulf Coast, we've seen hurricanes and tropical storms do severe damage. And this is all happening amid a pandemic. And that is why the American Red Cross is asking for your help right now, saying there is an urgent need for volunteers. People are needed to help assist with disaster relief efforts in 8 different states. And they're hoping more Hoosiers will be able to hit the road and help. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum is working to find out what it takes to become a volunteer. And we're hearing from a couple from Fishers helping families devastated by wildfires in Oregon.
Meet Deb and Jesse McDaniel.
We left in an emergency response vehicle on Friday, and we drove it the 2,300 miles to Oregon.
We spoke with these Fishers residents over the phone today. They're Red Cross volunteers, and they're currently stationed just outside of Portland, helping those who had to drop everything and evacuate their homes due to wildfires.
They basically have the clothes on their back. They have nothing else.
The McDaniels have been helping distribute food to families staying in hotels and at the fairgrounds. Leaders with the Red Cross say between wildfires there and hurricanes near the Gulf, they need more help.
We've got thousands in shelters. The need is immense. We have 5,000 disaster workers on the scene, but we're going to need more.
He says the Red Cross has not seen a need for volunteers like this since World War I. They say COVID-19 is also playing a role, as some former volunteers are not able to help.
It's not safe for them to go. They're vulnerable. They have health issues, and the global pandemic is creating a bit of a challenge for us.
The McDaniels have been volunteering for years.
We just need to give back, or feel like the need to give back. We've been very fortunate in our lives with education and good jobs and being able to retire young. And so now it's time to help others.
Volunteers complete training courses at their own pace. Once complete, they're ready to go. They can help with various disaster relief efforts, but perhaps most importantly,
they provide hope. And you can't underestimate the power of reaching a hand out to someone in your community and just letting them know you're there. It's the most important thing we can do for each other in crisis.
Well, the people have been so appreciative. I mean, even people who aren't getting Red Cross services will stop us to thank us for coming. That part is consistent across every kind of disaster we've ever done.
If you're interested and able to help volunteer with the Red Cross, head to our website, WRTV.com. We'll have a link with more information posted there. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
Volunteers must be at least 18 years old and they must pass a background check. If you are unable to travel right now, you can still help out. The Red Cross needs people right here in Indiana to backfill positions and assist after local house fires.
In Governor Eric Holcomb's weekly address, he also said there is a huge need for help at our local Indiana food banks.
Just wanted to make a note for volunteers, speaking of them, here at our local food banks. We're in the process of all of our food banks are calling back their volunteers. They are appropriately equipped with PPE to keep volunteers safe. So we would ask that if you were giving of your time and talent and treasure in the past to food banks, we would ask that you make contact and look to return there as well.
If you want to volunteer at a local food bank, you can get more information at operationfood.in.gov.
Well, here in Indiana, we have been lucky with our weather. We do need rain, but it never hurts to have a day like this when you can take a stroll in downtown Indy. Alyssa Donovan is here looking ahead to the rest of the night and into your Thursday. That dog looks just as happy as I think almost everyone is with this weather right now, Alyssa.
We've really been fortunate with the weather when it comes to the temperatures and dry conditions. However, the dry conditions aren't that great. This is one of our driest Septembers on record so far. Typically, September sees more than 1.5 inches of rainfall, and we've received less than 1/10 of rainfall so far. 2019 last year, that's also in our top 5 with just under 1/2 inch of rainfall. So hopefully we get some rain soon. Not in the 7-day forecast, though. Tonight, we're dropping into the 70s by this evening, 60s overnight, 50s by the morning. It's not going to feel as chilly as yesterday was overnight. That's because we have a little bit more cloud coverage to insulate us from that cool, dry air that's filtering in. Next, we have this cold front that's going to pass through. That's going to bring us a little bit more cloud coverage for tomorrow. Maybe a light shower, but not likely. And then we are going to see much cooler air as we head into the weekend.
Well, huge news for college football fans tonight. The Big Ten has announced it will have a football season after all. Today, conference officials unveiled the plan to begin this season the weekend of October 23rd and 24th. This will include daily antigen testing and enhanced cardiac screening for players and coaches as part of a return to play plan. So IU and Purdue will return to the field. Brad Brown has reaction from both schools and more on their upcoming seasons a little bit later here in sports. Peyton Manning is among 7 former Colts nominated for the 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. Manning, who won 2 Super Bowl titles in his career, one with the Colts and another with the Denver Broncos, won an NFL record 5 Most Valuable Player awards. In addition to Manning, former Colts wide receiver Reggie Wayne, tight end Dallas Clark, center Jeff Saturday, defensive back Bob Sanders, defensive end Cornelius Bennett, and punter Ron Stark were also nominated as modern era candidates. An updated look tonight on how COVID-19 is continuing to impact central Indiana and the state. The State Department of Health reporting 624 additional cases of the coronavirus. That's a decrease from yesterday's numbers. 107,809 people in Indiana have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since March. The state confirms 12 additional deaths. That means 3,247 Hoosiers have died with the coronavirus since the pandemic began. 1,261,892 people in Indiana have been tested for COVID-19. 8.5% of them tested positive for the virus. State data shows that 39% of Indiana's ICU beds are available. COVID-19 patients are using about 10% of those ICU beds. Non-COVID-19 patients are using nearly 51% of the beds, and 81% of the state's ventilators are now available. Today, the United States government released a plan to make COVID-19 vaccines available to all Americans for free as long as a safe vaccine is created. The Associated Press reports that the Defense Department and other federal health agencies presented a plan to Congress that would start a vaccination campaign by January of 2021 or even earlier than that. Eventually, they want to make shots available for every American for free. According to the AP, the Pentagon would be involved in the distribution of the vaccines, but healthcare workers would be the ones actually giving the shots.
A date is now set for Washington Township students to return to the classroom after the first month and a half of school year has been completely virtual. After a special school board meeting Tuesday, the district decided students in preschool and kindergarten through 2nd grade can return October 12th, with the rest of the district returning on October 19th. The plan calls for middle and high school students to be on a hybrid schedule, but there is still an option for students to do all virtual learning. The district also announced all students can participate in athletics and extracurricular activities.
We don't know the reasons why parents choose virtual. It could be that they're scared about getting it or their child getting it. It could be that there's someone in their family gets sick and they choose not to, but it's okay to be outside running around. They're comfortable. They've been doing that since summer, and they're comfortable with those kinds of activities, but not comfortable with sitting in a classroom with 20 to 30 people.
Washington Township schools decided to change the threshold on when schools can reopen. Originally, if the percent positivity rate of COVID-19 in Marion County was above 5%, schools would be closed. That has now been changed to 8%. The school board member we talked to says parents should be prepared for plans to adjust if the rate goes above the 8% threshold.
The federal government is providing millions of dollars for improvements to Interstate 70 east of Indianapolis and to US 36, otherwise known as Rockville Road in Avon. The U.S. Department of Transportation awarded more than $22 million for work that will be done on I-70. The project will widen I-70 from 2 to 3 lanes in each direction between Mount Comfort Road and State Road 9 in Greenfield. Also, a federal grant of $5 million is going to the city of Avon for construction on Rockville Road. That project will add a travel lane in each direction of a 1.2-mile stretch of the highway. It will also replace the left turn lane with a raised or curbed median to help control traffic flow. But as crews make these improvements, you are urged to show patience.
If you're widening something like Interstate 70 from 2 to 3 lanes, you need to remember that those projects take time. That's going to be slow, and we're going to ask members of the community to have patience with our construction folks because they're going to be out there working as swiftly as they can, but it's always important for everyone in the area to please be patient, to give our workers a break, to let them have a chance to set up, to make those improvements, and then clean it back up as soon as they can. So we always like to stress safety.
A date for those construction projects has not yet been set.
Hiring Hoosiers is our commitment to help you find a job even in the middle of a pandemic. One way we do that is through our job feed. Sexton Companies, which is property management group, has 2 local positions available. They need a leasing consultant and a maintenance technician. Both jobs are in Indianapolis. Spectra Premium has 3 jobs available in Greenfield. They are looking for a forklift operator who is also a material handler, a wave planner, and a shipping clerk. Changes Home Care in Indianapolis is looking for dependable, professional, and long-term candidates to help seniors with the activities of daily living. Immediate positions are available. We have more info in this post on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. Hiring Hoosiers partner Spherion needs material handlers in Plainfield. Pay is $14 an hour. These are full-time positions and expect overtime. Learn more about these positions on the job board at hiringhoosiers.com and on the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page.
Many parents are worried that their kids are falling behind on major milestones during e-learning. We check in with one program helping kids hit those milestones from an early age.
Big Ten football is returning next month. Brad Brown checks in with IU and Purdue to see how they will handle the return to play and what you can expect. Alyssa.
And today we hit the low 80s with those daytime highs, but it's not going to stay that way. We are dropping well below average over the next few days. I'll have the details on the cool down coming up.
Welcome back. The Rebound Indiana is our commitment to help families get through the pandemic. With many kids learning at home, no one wants them to fall behind.
Tonight we are talking about the Waterford Upstart program, which helps kids get ready for kindergarten. Our Lauren Casey shows us the families impacted and how you can sign up for the free program this fall.
His name is Elias.
Elias, E-L-I-A-S.
Say it slow.
Oh, that's perfect. Wow, you're already in kindergarten, you got the name spelling down, you're on top of it.
Elias Garola is an eager kindergartner in Pike Township. The district kicked off the school year virtually, and his dad David was thankful he already had some experience learning online.
Even using the computer, he's picked up. He's got the hand and eye coordination to move the mouse and the pointer across the screen.
That's because David enrolled Elias in the nonprofit Waterford Upstart program over the summer.
I wanted to make sure that he was still building upon his foundation.
Waterford.org provides the learning programs plus the device and hotspot internet at no charge to families who qualify.
Once COVID hit, our organization realized that we had a unique ability to help families that were going to be stuck inside their homes with their kids for an extended period of time.
Kim Fisher tells us that includes 625 Hoosier families from communities stretching all across the state, and the response to this help was overwhelming.
And so we worked with some of our philanthropic partners who gave us the funding to be able to reach children in 9 different states. What ended up happening is we had far more families that needed technology in the home. I think that's one of the things that COVID pointed out is the fact that we have a massive technology gap in this country. And I think it's something that school districts have known, but it's never been anything that's needed to be addressed because, all the work was being done inside the school.
Families like the Garolas spent time 5 days a week doing reading and math.
The magic stick tells you how big it is.
He's learning how to read through the program because it's simple step by steps, and every day it builds upon the last day.
Building blocks Dad knows will help Elias put his best foot forward when he can walk into his kindergarten classroom.
Education is the key to a lot of success, and I want him to have a steady foundation where he can build upon each day.
As for Elias, he's excited and ready for the year ahead.
What are you most looking forward to this school year?
I don't know.
It's all new, right?
New friends.
New teachers.
New teachers.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, WRTV.
Waterford.org is enrolling families in their fall program right now. Again, this is free to families in the Hoosier State who qualify. We have posted the link to apply and details for you on our website at WRTV.com/rebound.
And all eyes right now are on Hurricane Sally as it made landfall this morning, moving across into Georgia now, and it will shortly make its way into the Carolinas. Likely on Friday it will make its way into those states. This is a slow-moving storm, and it is moving about 5 miles per hour. An average hurricane moves anywhere between 15 to 30 miles per hour, so this is very slow-moving, causing a lot of flooding issues as it continues to just bring torrential rainfall. Now, a lot of times in Indiana, we do see some remnants from those hurricanes as they make their way into the Gulf and across the Midwest, but this hurricane is going to turn right out into the Atlantic again. So we're not going to see any impact from that. If anything, maybe a little bit of cloud coverage for southern counties, but really not going to see an impact from Hurricane Sally here in Indiana. What we are going to see is an impact from a cold front that's sweeping from the north. That's going to move in tonight and into tomorrow, already bringing us a little bit of cloud coverage for northern counties by early tomorrow morning and continuing to bring cloud coverage across the central portion of the state by midday tomorrow. So we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies throughout our day. You saw some moisture on the map with that, but likely that's going to stay up in the clouds. If we do see any showers, they will be very light, which is unfortunate. We really do need the rainfall here in Indiana. Taking a look at tonight, temperatures will drop into the 70s by 7 o'clock this evening. Then we'll be into the 60s by about 10. We'll start to see some of those clouds moving ahead of that front, and we are going to see light winds before they start to pick up behind that system as it continues to move through. Tomorrow, those wind gusts will peak 20 to 25 miles per hour in the afternoon, and that's just due to that system moving across the area. Now, it is going to deposit some cooler air behind it as well. So Thursday, temperatures won't be as warm as we were today, into the low 70s for our daytime highs. And then taking a look at the 7-day forecast, we're going to continue dropping off. We'll be into the 60s for our highs on Saturday, and Sunday will be into the low 70s, back into the upper 70s by the work week.
The college football season has gotten underway with teams from the Big Ten watching from the sidelines, but not for long.
The conference giving the green light for the 2020 season to get underway this fall. Brad Brown has reaction from the state's 2 Big Ten coaches.
College football season has been underway in some form for the past couple of weekends, except for the Big Ten. But soon, the waiting game will finally lead to a kickoff.
You see the other teams going out there playing, and I don't think they have the stringent protocols that we're going to be having going forward. So I think that's what makes everyone more confident that this can work. It's hard to be training for something you're not even sure what that is as far as the date. And was it going to be November? Was it going to be even as late as January? And was it even going to happen at all? And so the October piece kind of just came in. Approval only came with a plan in place for rigorous COVID-19 testing. Before the end of this month, anyone involved with a team's football activities will go through daily screening. Any player testing positive would have to sit out for 21 days.
that medical expertise, the power of the Big Ten was brought to the fore here with our medical experts. It was just a great example of teamwork and collaboration and getting to yes.
They got to understand that a lot of people are doing a lot of things, a lot of time invested. Medical staff's invested so much to help them, have an opportunity to play this season. So they need to honor those individuals by doing what we ask them to do.
The Big Ten approved a plan on Wednesday that will get football started before the end of October. That's 7 weeks later than originally planned. The new agenda will open the weekend of October 23rd for 9 games. That final weekend will be a crossover matchup. Placements across divisions will face one another 1v1 in the Big Ten championship game.
There's been a lot of hard work and a lot of people that have expressed their opinion, but really behind the scenes, we've gotten a lot of hard work to get answers and to get improvements that I think a lot of information was brought in front of our athletic directors, in front of our presidents and chancellors, and we definitely, those things helped us get back on the field.
So if the Big Ten's plans stay on track, their conference championship game would be on December 19th, potentially here at Lucas Oil Stadium. That date did not come out of thin air. The College Football National Championship Committee will set its semifinal pairings on December 20th. So this keeps the Big Ten in the national title mix as well. There are tens of millions of dollars riding on the line between TV deals and sponsorship obligations. And then there's the matter of the rest of fall sports, basketball and winter sports moving forward. The Big Ten is expected to announce the rest of those plans shortly. Working for you, Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
Breaking news tonight, the Northwest Hendricks School Board voted this evening to terminate 2 high school administrators amid concerns the couple failed to report sexual misconduct allegations involving a teacher and a student. Nathan and Stacy Begley worked as the athletic director and dean of students at Tri-West High School. They're both charged with failure to make a report, which is a misdemeanor. Those charges they call unfounded. The Begleys have been on paid administrative leave since February when the Department of Education filed a complaint against their teaching licenses. The district has not yet responded to our requests asking how much compensation the Begleys have received while on paid leave.
And we're going to see a more mild evening tonight, not nearly as chilly as it was last night. Temperatures dropping into the 50s. Tomorrow, a bit of a cooler day, 72 for the high, and then we'll continue to drop down as we head towards the weekend. Highs only in the 60s on Friday and Saturday. Then we're back into the upper 70s next week.
Thanks for making WRTV your choice for news. We'll be back for the news at 7.